I love that movie. You guys are all gonna like, oh my god, you're all gonna hate me so much. I have a lot of favorites. I pretty much laugh at everything. It is horrible. Hey guys, so today I'm doing a really fun new tag video that me and my two friends here on YouTube invented. So it is me, obviously, since I'm doing this tag, and Jess from Fancy Cupcake 03 and Lauren from Lauren Claire. You guys know I talk about them all the time. We've done a bunch of videos together, and I'll link a lot of those videos in the description box and both of their channels down there as well. And this tag is called the movie tag. So this isn't about beauty or makeup or fashion. It's all about movies. You guys know I'm a movie TV buff. I'm addicted to anything that pretty much isn't real life. So what we did with this tag is we did 20 different categories of different types of movies for different occasions and stuff like that, and we put in the ones that we thought of for the answers. And I really love if you guys did this video. I tag every single person that watches this video. I will tag specific people in the description box, but if your name isn't down there, please still do it anyway and tweet it at me so I know that you did it, and I will share it and watch it and everything, I promise. Without further ado, let's get started. The first question is best date night movie. I think for a date movie, you don't want something that's too kind of romantic, because especially first date, I guess, or really any date, you don't want something that's too romantic, that's too like girly. You also don't want something that's like too actiony and stuff. I think that a great compromise is an action movie like Amazing Spider-Man and the Dark Knight movies, because they have a mix of so many different elements in them. They all have kind of an element of comedy, they have action, they have romance, you know, they have kind of everything that both people on the date would enjoy, I think. Number 2 is Girls Night. And Girls Night, I think you can pretty much watch any movie. For Girls Night, I wrote 3 different movies. I wrote It's Complicated, which is kind of more on the older side. I don't know, I really like that movie. It's with Meryl Streep and Steve Martin and I can't remember the other guy's name. It's really, really funny. And Something's Gotta Give is also a great movie with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton, I think. I think it's a really good movie. I think that they're both really great movies to watch with girlfriends or even your mom. Like, that's what I watch with her and she really likes it too. I just think they're adorable movies. I think they're really good quality. They're kind of a fantasy of your future, like what I want my future to be, people living in the Hamptons and stuff like that. And then the last one, I put My Best Friend's Wedding, which is another older movie that a lot of you guys, if you're younger, you might not have seen it before, with Cameron Diaz, Dermot Mulroney, and with Julia Roberts. I think it's so great. It's a great kind of romantic comedy, and I don't know, it's something that I always kind of want to watch with my girlfriends. Number 3 is family movie. Now, family movie, there's a million and one of them. I think from my childhood, my family movies that I've watched the most with my family are 3 ones that stick out in my mind. One is Mrs. Doubtfire. Robin Williams, we all, R.I.P. Robin Williams, we all love him so much. And if you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you, but Mrs. Doubtfire is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. I loved it when I was a kid. I love it now when I'm like now at this age, and it's an amazing movie. I also put Hook under family movie. I think that's a great movie to watch with your family, with your kids. I just think it's so much fun. And it's kind of just like a twist on Peter Pan. Also The Goonies. I think The Goonies, I don't know if it's great for all kids, I don't know. It's definitely more of like a throwback kind of thing, but it's something that I've always watched with my family. Number 4, funny movie. This could go so many different directions. I think so many things are funny. I pretty much laugh at everything. My one funny movie that I put on this list is The Bachelorette. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. It has Kirsten Dunst and Rebel Wilson in it, and also Janice Ian from Mean Girls is in it. It's so good. I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix. It's hilarious. I think it's even funnier than Bridesmaids. It's kind of like a dirtier version of that, if that makes sense. I would definitely recommend checking out. It's so funny. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's so funny. And then Melissa McCarthy. Pretty much anything with Melissa McCarthy in it is gonna be funny. I haven't seen a movie from her that isn't funny, and I've liked her since Gilmore Girls days, like back when that first started, when I was obsessed with it in like 6th grade, so definitely recommend anything with her. Can't go wrong there. Number 5 is Disney Princess. And Disney princess movies I'm obsessed with because I'm just like every other basic white girl out there, but my favorite growing up, pretty sure it's Cinderella. I just think that that's my favorite. I mean, I love Sleeping Beauty is also one of my all-time favorites. All the classics. I like Frozen and I like Tangled, but they're definitely, I would never consider them my favorites because I'm that classic Disney like girl back from like the old videos, like when you had on cassette tape and stuff. My favorite of all the older ones is definitely Cinderella. I think I don't know, I've always liked that kind of like girl rags to riches kind of thing. Kinda because I wish that was my life. Anyways, number 6 is child or reminiscent movies. So what are you reminiscent of from your childhood? I have a couple on this list. One is the creepy Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if you guys know what this is, but there's a lot of Alice in Wonderland movies out there. This one is on YouTube. It's about 3 hours long. It's the creepiest hippiest Alice in Wonderland in the whole universe. I remember watching it a bunch of times when I was younger. I used to remember I would sit in my living room floor and fast forward through like all the parts I didn't like that were scary or that were songs I didn't like. That just is always one that just like is stuck in my head, my childhood, probably because it gives me nightmares, but it was like one of my favorites when I was little, like really weird. And then my last one is Mary-Kate and Ashley. Any of the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies were my childhood. My sister was like part of the fan club, and I don't know, we just always like played Mary-Kate and Ashley. We had the dolls, we had everything that had to do with them. So any Mary-Kate and Ashley movie ever, anything Mary-Kate and Ashley, obsessed. They should put all the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies on Netflix. We should all start a petition. Thumbs up this video if you agree. Number 7 is best series or saga. You're all gonna hate me for this, I know, or you're gonna love me for it. I don't know. Some people, it's like a real huge thing, but I think you all know what I'm gonna say, and I think Twilight. I know people like Harry Potter and all that stuff, but I am huge on Twilight. I liked Twilight pretty much ever since the first movie in high school when that came out. The guy I liked looked a lot like Robert Pattinson, at least in my opinion at the time, and so I got obsessed. I read all the books within like 3 months of the first movie coming out and was just like addicted, and I had to have them all and read them, and I loved it. And I honestly don't like it as much now. I think the first movie was definitely the best, but I still think overall it's the best saga. Next is number 8, movie not worth the hype. You guys are literally gonna hate me. You're probably gonna stop watching this video because my answer to this question. A lot of people are shocked at both of like the answers I have for this, but both movies I think that aren't worth the hype are The Hunger Games. I only saw the first one, kind of fell asleep during it, tried to watch it again, fell asleep again, and I wasn't just super tired, it was like the middle of the day. I just didn't like it. Kind of find it really confusing and boring, and I just don't like it. I'm sorry. And then the next one you guys are all gonna like, oh my god, you're all gonna hate me so much. The Fault in Our Stars. I first of all hate Shailene Woodley, so I might just have like a prejudice against this movie because of her, but I hate Shailene Woodley with a passion. I think she's a terrible actress. I don't know why she's being cast in so many movies and to play so many like intense roles, because I think she's a horrible actress. I think that movie The Descendants with George Clooney, I think that would have been much better without her. I just think she's horrible at doing the intense roles. The movie overall, Fault in Our Stars, I think that the plot was good, but I think just because Shailene Woodley played the part and so horribly, I didn't even cry once during that movie. I was just like, let's get this over with. I already knew exactly what was going to happen in the first 5 minutes. I wasn't surprised. I didn't like any of the acting. I think that they could have done so much better with the casting in that movie, and I know you are gonna hate me for that. Number 9, the best book to movie. The ones I really like are all Nicholas Sparks. I really like Safe Haven and The Notebook. I have read a couple of Nicholas Sparks books and the ones that became movies. I just think they did it really well. I think that they're both movies that you can watch without ever having read the book and really love them. The Notebook is just a classic. It's just like my first romantic movie that like really was intense for me when I was that age. And then Safe Haven, I just think that the actors they chose were extraordinary. I think that the storyline, instead of just being a romance, having like that bit of mystery and stuff in it, was really great. And I approve of those book to movies. Number 10 is best romance. I have 3 here. One is kind of a comedy and the other 2 are not. First one is Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman is just like that like kind of modern day Cinderella. I love Julia Roberts. I just love that movie. I think Pretty Woman is like a classic. I remember when I was little it was rated R, and now it's on like ABC Family all the time. So that's really funny. But I think that Pretty Woman is a classic love story. I know that it's not like one of those intense like The Notebook types, but I love it as a romance. I think it's fantastic. I also put down You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks so much, and I think he's an amazing actor. If you haven't seen You've Got Mail, you've got to see it because it is so good. I think it came out right at like the verge of like AOL and like emailing, and that's why I really like it, and I just love it so much. It's such a good romance. My last one for romance is Time Traveler's Wife. I adore that movie. I cry every single time I watch it. It's such a good movie. It's so like not realistic yet realistic, and it has magical elements but not like intense weird magical. It's like magic in the real world, and it's just such a good movie. And number 11 is Anyone and Anytime. So this is a movie that you could literally sit down and watch whether you're paying attention, whether you're not paying attention. Any single person who watches it will like it. It's just like that movie that just like, it kind of just grabs everyone. And I have 2 on here. I have Pitch Perfect, which I just think is amazing. I've had guys really like it, like that I know. My dad even has watched it a number of times. It's an amazing movie. I just think they did that movie so well. I can't wait for the second one. And I also put Bad Teacher. Bad Teacher is amazing. I love Cameron Diaz, and that movie was great. Justin Timberlake also, you can't beat Justin Timberlake. but I just thought that movie was great. I think it's great for guys and girls, not for all ages maybe, but I definitely think it's an anytime type of movie. Like, you could watch that no matter what mood you're in and you'll enjoy it. 12. Best cartoon. I have a number of them on here because I could not pick. The ones I have here are Shrek, just because that was the last cartoon I think I saw in the theaters ever, so I don't know. That's just like a memory for me. Aladdin, which is probably one of my favorite Disney movies ever. I love Aladdin. It is so good. I've even watched it recently and I was just like, this is really funny. Like, it's just like, it's good for all ages too. I think it's just like really enjoyable. I also have Meet the Robinsons on here. I think it's great for kids. It has like a deep element to it, but it also is very funny and lighthearted, along with Up, which is another kind of a deep storyline, but it's more funny and lighthearted. Up and Meet the Robinsons I think are some of the best, more recent cartoons that they've made. I just think they're so good for all ages to watch. Number 13. Movie you can watch over and over. Again, I love a lot on this list, and one of them is Friends with Benefits with Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake. I adore Mila Kunis. She's like my favorite, and I love that movie. I have it on DVD. I've watched it so many times. I think that Mila Kunis is gorgeous in that movie. Her makeup actually is what got me started on YouTube. When I watched that movie, I googled and like looked up a bunch of different ways to wear makeup like Mila Kunis, and that's what got me obsessed with YouTube and got me to create my channel. So that's one reason I love that movie. Also No Strings Attached, which is like the more PG version of Friends with Benefits, which is with Ashton Kutcher, who, again, I am obsessed with. So you guys know I ship them. I'm so glad they're together. And having a baby. Or they had the baby already, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Anyways, I also love Natalie Portman in that movie. Also Just Married is so good, again, with Ashton Kutcher. Gotta love Ashton. But Just Married is a great movie. I also have that on DVD. I think that no one could ever get sick of it. It's so good. Okay, number 14 is horror, and I'm not a big horror, like, violence, like, scary movie person, so it's hard for me to pick one for here, but I do have one on my list, and it is Prisoners, which was a more recent movie that came out with Hugh Jackman, I think. I think that's horror. I guess I would consider it horror. It's an amazingly made movie, and I think that it is, for people who enjoy like intense movies, it is great, but it is horrible at the same time. I mean, it is something that is gonna like hurt you into your core. So if you get really upset for movies and you get really sensitive, I wouldn't recommend watching it, but if you like really intense movies, that's a movie to watch. It's 15. Classic. So your favorite classic movie. I have a lot on here, but again, I can never just narrow it down to one. So classic, I have Wizard of Oz. Come on, that's just classic for everyone. If you don't like The Wizard of Oz, there's something wrong with you. Wizard of Oz, amazing. Breakfast at Tiffany's, another amazing movie. I've seen it so many times. I just think it's like that. It's just great. It's just great. I can't even describe it. I think it used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but definitely if you can find it, watch it. And then Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club. I mean, who doesn't like The Breakfast Club? I like all those 80s movies, but out of all of them, Breakfast Club is my favorite. I could watch it over and over and over. I like that it's always on TV. I'm getting so excited about talking about this. I freaking love movies. 16, and we're almost done here, I promise. 16 is Tearjerker. Now, this is the movie that's going to make you cry no matter who you are, no matter what area of life you're in. I think it's a great movie for families, and I love it, and it is Stepmom. I love Stepmom. It is something that I can watch over and over. There's funny bits and just like really joyful bits and horribly sad bits where I hysterically cry, and I know I've seen it a million times. I'm not surprised, but the emotion of all the actors is amazing. Julia Roberts, Susan Sarandon work amazingly together. I think that they're fantastic, phenomenal, and I think that if you haven't seen Stepmom, you're really missing out on something because it's phenomenal. I almost like want to tear up just talking about it because I love that movie so much. Halloween, you gotta guess this one. Hocus Pocus, come on. Come on. Hocus Pocus is the #1 Halloween movie, and if you haven't seen it, I don't even know what you're doing with your life. It's amazing. Also, I like all the Halloween type movies. I like the Halloween Town movies from Disney Channel. I'm not into scary things at all. I'm like, whoa, no, get scary things away from me, but like, I love all those Halloween movies. I wish that the 13 Nights of Halloween on ABC Family was 31 Nights of Halloween. Like, come on. Get with the program. Just change that, because 13 nights is not enough. Number 18 is Christmas movies. Now, Christmas movies, I have a lot of favorites. My favorite #1 of all time is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Such a good movie. That is my #1 Christmas movie. I could watch forever. That's like my childhood Christmas. I've watched that every Christmas Eve. I just love that movie so much. It's like the movie that makes me so happy and excited for Christmas. I also love all those little like weird cartoon ones, like Santa Claus is Coming to Town and stuff, and like Frosty and all those. I like Elf. I like all those other ones everyone likes, but I think my #1 is definitely Santa Claus with Tim Allen. It's so good. If you haven't seen that movie, I don't know where you've been living, but you've got to see it. It's amazing. Number 19 is action, and I'd have to say I'd go with my same for the first answer, Batman or Amazing Spider-Man. I do not like the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. I just don't really like Tobey Maguire, to be honest, but I love Christian Bale and all of the Batman movies that he was in, and the Amazing Spider-Man. First of all, obsessed with Andrew Garfield. He is like my dream guy. I love Emma Stone. I love them together. I love the movies. They're great, and they're action, but not like solely action, if that makes sense. So I really like those. Last, number 20, I did not prepare for this at all, but I should have, and it's best new movie. Now, I haven't seen a lot of brand new movies that came out, and the ones I have seen have not been the best, to be honest. I haven't really loved any movie that I've seen recently. I'd say the most new one, which isn't new at all, like I'm telling you, it's at least a year old, at least, I think. The Wolf of Wall Street, great movie. Great movie. Leonardo DiCaprio deserves an Oscar. He deserves all the Oscars ever made. I'd highly recommend that. And that's the newest movie I think that I really enjoyed. Sorry if it doesn't really help you with the movies that are in theaters now. If you have any new movie recommendations, please leave them in the comments. Please also do this tag. Please, 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 I tag everyone. I just think it's such a fun video to do and to talk about movies. Thank you so much, Jess and Lauren, for helping me do this tag, or me helping you, or all of us working together. Thank you guys for contributing and collaborating. What am I even saying? Thanks guys, I'm really glad we did this. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't want to do this tag, or you don't have a channel or something, then just leave a comment with your favorite movie ever. Make sure you subscribe so that you're notified every time I put up a new video. Make sure you check out my other videos if you haven't seen them. I did a lot of collabs with Jess recently, and I did a fashion video for fall, which I'm really proud of. I put a lot of effort into it, so if you want to check that out, I'd really appreciate it. I will link it around here somewhere and in the description box, along with a lot of my recent videos. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! My dad's vacuuming the car outside, so I hope you can't hear it, but if you can, then pretend you can't. Jesk. Jesk? Yeah, Jesk. No, not Jesk. If I say one more time, it could be, loved one. Okay, so answers for these questions. Remember her name? I don't know. Participation and seeing the why did I just totally space on his name? Oh my god, I can't remember his name. What is her name? Oh my god, why am I spacing on everyone's name? Yeah, I'm gonna go back and edit this video and be like, I should remember this one, I should put this in here. I burped. 3 more. 4 more. 4 more? Yeah, I can't count. Okay, that's why I like movies, because I don't do good in school. That doesn't make sense. Oh, no. Double, what is it? And then, wait, no, I want to say something else.